Welcome back to Drift Garage. On the last episode we made, on this episode we're going to start, where's Turk? Where's Turk? Every year we do this show, he never shows up, he's never on time, he's always playing with his phone, he's always walking around, he's banging around wrenches, he's never...
That works. Yeah, I'll just hold it.
Alright, so we're going to install the new Takata Race 6 Hans harnesses in the Drift Idiot Mobile. Right now I am drilling the holes in the floor to accept the eyelets for the harnesses on the lap restraint bolt to underneath the seat. So remove the seat, find your holes. There's a frame rail right here on the floorboard, so you want to make sure you drill on opposite sides of that, and also make sure that you give yourself enough room to clear the frame rail so that the big washers that we use. So these are the big washers. Here's the eyelet that you're going to be putting through the floor, and there's two of those because it's a 6-point harness, so there's two straps on the lap belt. Goes to the floor, this bolt's underneath, just like that. So you want to make sure that you don't drill too close to the frame rail when you're punching through the floor so that you can clear this washer on it. But since I don't care about sand that much, I am just going to freehand this motherfucker and throw a hole through the floor, and hopefully we nail it. Oh man, I'm money. I'm so good at this. Now we're setting a length on the lap belt. I have to test this a couple times before we get it right. Typically you want this buckle to be, when you're in your seat, you want the cam belt to be in your belly button area. That's where you want it to settle. Does that even look like it's in a fucking reasonable spot? There's a proper way to wrap the belt so that if you do get into an accident or a collision, the belts don't stretch on the buckles. So we'll get into that. Okay. So we're about to put the shoulder belts on. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you have the right side, because there is a correct side. These two clips right here at the bottom, you want them to be pointing from outwards to inwards into the cam buckle, so that when I strap in to the top here, they don't run into each other. There's room down here. If you get them the opposite way, it just creates a little bit of binding, and they're usually too close to each other, and it really just makes it more of a pain in the ass to put your belt on. Takata does a really good job of pretty much already having them wrapped properly, so all you have to do is undo the one side in the buckle and then just loop it around. So this is already kind of pulled in. It's already wrapped the way it's supposed to be done. So really all you have to do is just undo it and then get it wrapped around the belt. Get the length right for your shoulders. Obviously we're gonna do a test when I get this wrapped around. Still keep it loose. You just wanna make sure that the cam buckle is nice and tight. One final step. You want to make sure that these things don't slide around on the harness bar. So make sure that they are in a comfortable spot where they're right in the middle of the holes here. And then you can just grab a zip tie and hold it in place. It looks pretty clean. Takata harnesses look great in the car and some black seats. So you can go out there and just drive and have a good time. See, a little bit off of that frame rail.
Rap, rap, rap.
Oh, that was my finger. We're in the idiot's car.
It was pretty rough when we first got our hands on this thing.
It was definitely a lack of safety, number one.
Lack of
seats that actually hugged you and would keep you in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust the seats that were in this. So we got, new wheel, new shift knob, thanks Turk. New handbrake.
Oh yeah, we
thanks
got the old,
Nameless.
We got the old Ryan Turk Mishimoto shift knob on here.
Yep. New pair of seats and harnesses.
Yep.
Because those old ones are super dirty and probably full of farts.
He's looking pretty fresh.
Yeah. Drift pro idiot. Professional idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I do like the little extra bonus gifts we gave him. It's something to remember us by.
Yep.
I gave him a little motivation with my grip roll wheel. Then never lift right here.
Yep.
Even though he's making like twice the power that he ever has, trying to motivate him to floor twice as hard.
Half the throttle that he probably was making at full throttle. Might need a little coaching, but we'll get there. Our boys at Nameless Performance hooked us up with the handbrake to install in the car, which
fully pro.
I run it in my car. You run it in your car. I run it in my street car, the pro car.
That's right. All my other cars.
The Ferrari car.
Yeah. So this is a little bit more motivation. It's like, hey, I'm right here.
It's like super motivation, dude. You got Forsberg, we got Turkberg, and we got Turk.
That's it. Got them all.
The business.
Yeah. But I'm loving the way these seats feel. These things are killer.
Yeah, this is my first time actually sitting in one of the Takata seats, and it is really nice.
Yeah, it goes great with the harnesses, and seating position is super important. One of the top 3 things I tell anyone when they're building a drift car is diff, so that your rear wheel's locked up, seat, so you're sitting in place and locked to your car, and then coilovers to keep your car kind of steady. So yeah, diff seat, coilovers. So I think it's a top 3 investment for any car because once you get sliding around and getting thrown around in the car and you're trying to brace yourself with your knee up against the door or the,
yeah, and you have to start getting a bruise on the side of it.
I've gotten bruises in cars before. Yeah. So, like a good seat to really be able to feel the car through the seat is very important.
I'm actually getting a little nervous though. I'm sitting in the extra wide seat.
Yeah, you know.
And it's still hugging my hips pretty good, so.
Oh yeah? Oh man. Got a tight frame over here.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Seating position is obviously super important. You know, we got the seat located perfectly. We got it as low as we could and nice and tight on the wheel. You know, you want your elbows to be bent. You don't want to be super stretched out. You also don't want to be leaned back too far so that, you know, you're like, just like got your knees kicked up in the dash.
I guess my seating position, everybody sits in my seat and says it's really odd. But I usually like it very straight up and down where I can be up. I can kind of see over the glass a little bit. But that's just my comfort level. That's where I can kind of see my points out the windshield where I want to be able to see clipping points and whatnot.
Yeah, I'll make sure to sit as high as I can in relation to the roll cage, you know, because same thing, I want to be able to see over the dash. That is important. But yeah, you want to make sure you have room between the wheel and your knees for your hands so you're not bumping into them and getting stuck here. You still want to be close enough to have your legs bent so when you push the clutch in, you don't want to be fully extended. Yeah, because you can't control the clutch if your leg's fully stretched out.
Right.
So, you know, be able to modulate a little bit. All those little things really help to be able to drive a car all weekend and not get sore and just have a good time. That
and just your coming off the steering wheel and having your tools right here, just right in line.
It's really funny because I was always the
I know.
you
know well, of course we were. Well, I mean, when you first started out, and
I was afraid to go to the vertical handbrake, and
I was
yeah,
too.
once I did, it's so natural. It feels great.
Bing bang boom.
Yeah,
just all right there.
You know, fourth or third, grab a little handbrake.
That's it.
So yeah, this thing's pretty much ready to go inside. It's dialed. He's got all the safety equipment and all the tools he needs to get the job done.
It's all on him now.
It is. Get out of here.
Where's that clapping? This thing has to be on the dyno in an hour.
Yeah, we should get to it.
Can we go, guys? Can we get to work, or you guys should we keep
with
talking?
The questions, idiot?
Yeah, do it.
So the Drift Idiot left a full tank of gas for 2 years sitting in this tank. Obviously that's not good for any engine, so we are draining it. Had to jump the fuel pump relay to do that before we put some fresh gas in and fire this thing up.
Okay.
It's cranking.
So we do have oil pressure because Turk forgot to tighten the line. That's why we check for leaks.
I kept that loose on purpose so we would know if it had oil pressure.
That's smart. Well, good thinking. So let's hit the dyno already.
All right, guys, here we go.
Here we go. Little throttle. Is that unplugged?
Yep.
Haha, Dylan! Dylan!
Dylan, why didn't the car start the first time? I don't know. Someone forgot to plug it back in.
Dude's messing with us. I'm bypassing the one. Any leaks? Looking good? Woo! We're heading for the dyno, baby.
Why are you running right?
All right, it's hot.
One of the cam gears was wrong. It was off by 1 tooth. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions on safety or setting up the perfect driving position,
or any questions at all, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And also, tell us about your dream drift car build.
like the Ferrari car? Are you putting
Nobody
a
even knows about
Are
that
you gonna
thing.
put a Lamborghini engine in one of your cars?
I don't know, maybe.
Is he?
Is that, has someone done that?